When we think about advertising, we often think about those huge campaigns that show up on primetime television. Campaigns for major brands can involve global advertising agencies and media buyers and can cost tens of millions or even hundreds of millions of dollars. But what if you could do it yourself? A reader of my Slate column on advertising wrote in to tell me about something called Google TV Ads. It allows you to upload your own ad to their site and then buy airtime on various networks so you can actually play your ad on TV. And you can do this all from your own laptop. It sounded almost too good to be true, so we thought we'd try it ourselves and see if it worked. I have no particular product to sell, so we thought we'd just make an ad for Slate V itself. And since we assumed this ad would only run in the wee hours of the night, we decided to make it a little bit surreal, vaguely provocative, to see what kind of response we might stir up.
Have you noticed that the world is eating itself these days? Systems are disintegrating. There are drones in the sky. And if you look, you'll see there are drones all around you. Your mass media chases its own tail. The world is eating itself these days, and it seems like there's no one who can tell you why. No one who can tell you why. But the V can tell you why. The V can tell you why. The V can tell you why. The V can tell you why.
As you can see, we created a separate website and put its URL up on screen during the ad. That way we could see how many viewers of the ad visited the website, and we could measure the response the ad got. Now, anyone with a video camera can make a 30-second ad. Maybe not as awesome as our ad, but you can make an ad. The hard part is actually putting it on TV, and Google is promising to let you do that straight from your own computer. When you log into the Google TV ad site, it asks you to set a budget for your campaign, and then it lets you pick different times of day when you want your ad to air, different networks you want it to show up on, even the specific show you want it to be on. So you can actually build out a specifically targeted media campaign from your own living room. After we clicked around for a little while, we realized to our amazement that for about $100, we could actually put our ad on a national cable network and reach 100,000 people. Of course, on our budget, we couldn't afford to put a 30-second spot on a primetime network sitcom or during a sporting event on ESPN or something. But we could afford to put our ad on during off-peak hours on a lot of different cable networks. We were having some fun with the style of the ad, and it sort of plays to the paranoid fringe out there. So we were thinking about what might be the best place to air it. And we came up with overnight reruns of The Glenn Beck Show.
All states should look at this, either policy or state, and say, do this. We'll come back in just a second.
Valentine's Day is the one holiday that's all about romance. And
Even after making our media buy, we still weren't totally convinced that our ad would actually show up on TV. But lo and behold, there it was. Amazingly, our ad aired 7 times during Glenn Beck episodes, and overall it aired 54 times on 4 different cable networks. 1.3 million people saw our nutty little ad, and of those, more than 1,000 actually typed in the URL we displayed. And our total outlay was only $1,300. The V can tell you why.
The advertising industry won't crumble overnight, but it's easy to see that the barriers to entry have been lowered, and it might not be long before you're promoting your blog or your punk band or your line of Christmas ornaments with an ad campaign on national TV.